Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Mastermind Table. We're back with episode 2. Thank you so much for tuning in to the last episode. If you haven't watched it, make sure to go check that out. Today, I have my special guest, Mika Heinze. She's also my mother, and she's also the director of property management.
Hello, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on the show, Mom. I really appreciate you. But I'm going to address you as Mika for the podcast.
All right. I'm excited to be here, guys.
So, a little bit about my mom here. So, Mika Heinze is a realtor, a property manager, and she's a director of property management here at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Parks and Wattsburg. She manages rentals, homeowners associations, and she's been in real estate since 2012 when she started as the assistant property manager, and she worked her way up the ranks to where she is at now, where she's the director of property management. So in 2023, she was honored an Honor Society Award, which basically means that she's a top 14% real estate agent here in the Berkshire Hathaway network, which is across the globe. Along with in 2023, she was military veteran housing certified, and in 2023 as well, she was a Kentucky Housing Corporation certified. And in 2020, she had an article written about her in Louisville Business First, which she was 20 people to know in real estate, which makes me super proud of my mom.
Thanks.
So we're not wasting more time. We'll jump into some of the questions that we have here. Is with you being a property manager, why did you decide to get into property management in the first place?
I worked at Citibank from 2001 to 2011. That was for 10 years. And our company was downsizing and allowing people to work from home. Back then, it was kind of unusual to work from home. So I needed a career change. So the opportunity was presented to me to be the assistant property manager to the owners of a property management company, which there I learned how to do property management of condo associations and homeowner associations.
Okay, awesome. And what do you think was what was the top things that you learned while working there before you made the transition to your next company?
The top things I've learned there was communication and sticking to your procedure, having your processes down, and making sure that you get your name out there so people can recognize you.
Absolutely. And you had to go through the period of kind of when the market was heating up, and then you went through the time where interest rates dropped, because I only got in 2021. So for me, I experienced a portion of that, but you experienced when COVID first hit.
Yes.
What was the property management world like when COVID first hit in that March of 2020?
Yes. So going back to COVID year, March of 2020, that was definitely an eye-awakening, an eye-opener for many different people. So everything changed when it came to COVID. We had to shut down and reduce our open houses. We weren't allowed to have a group of people inside the open house. We had to single them out and do one-on-one open houses. We also had to change the way that we did showings and social distancing when it came to doing showings. And it was also different, too, because many of our tenants were losing their job or getting laid off. So therefore, they were reaching out to us because they needed help with paying their rent. And it was a very difficult time.
Yeah. And so since you kind of had to deal with that, what are the ways that you were able to help tenants out and like find creative ways to help them pay their rent?
Yes. So during COVID and everything, I have a close relationship with Louisville Metro government, and big kudos to Louisville Metro government. They have a rental assistance program that we were able to collect over $100,000 during the 2020 and 2021 year for rental assistance for our tenants. So they were able to provide 3 to 6 months up in advance of rent and help them get caught up. So that was really helpful during that time. So Louisville Metro government was a great asset to helping us get our tenants up to date during COVID time.
Okay, awesome. And I know approximately how many doors does your property management department manage right now?
We manage over 1,500 doors, and that is across our single-family houses, our multifamily, our apartments. We do have condo associations we manage, homeowner associations, and we do also have a commercial department, too, where we manage commercial property. And I also managed a couple of commercial strip malls, shopping centers.
Yeah, and in your opinion, you deal with a lot of investors from their own rental properties, whether it's multifamily properties or residential. What are the main things that investors should be asking a property manager prior to hiring them when they're wanting them to, handle all their investment portfolios?
Yes. Well, you definitely want to find out, if you're an investor and you're looking for a property manager, you definitely want to find out how big their portfolio is. How many properties will one property manager initially have? Will one property manager have 20 properties? Will they have 50? Will they have 100? You want to know how many properties that they're going to be able to handle and manage. You also want to know their expertise and their background. Are they familiar with affordable housing? Are they familiar with Section 8, the Housing Choice Voucher with Louisville Metro Housing Authority? You definitely want to know their communication style. And investors definitely want to know what their screening criteria is and how they select their tenants.
Yeah, and I think that's huge because if you don't select your tenants good, that could come and bite you in the behind, after they move out or even while they're currently living in that.
Yes.
And you mentioned affordable housing. So a lot of investors either want to get into affordable housing but don't really know how to. And I know that you have a lot of experience with affordable housing because I've come to you about questions about this stuff all the time.
Yes.
So what is the process of getting somebody through the affordable housing? How does that all work? Because I've heard it's a lot of paperwork.
Well, it's definitely a lot of paperwork. So I'm here in Louisville, so therefore we deal with Jefferson County, Louisville Metro Housing Authority. So we have a whole process and step with Louisville Metro Housing Authority. There's paperwork that you have to fill out. It's all on their website. But then also too, and that's only for Jefferson County, but if you manage rental properties that's affordable housing in other counties, you have their public authority that you have to deal with. So for example, I also manage low income housing tax credit properties, which is in Bullitt County, and that is with Kentucky Housing Authority, which is totally different from Louisville Metro Housing Authority. So you just have to learn from it and go to your website and download the papers and just read about it.
Okay. And what would you say to people who may be interested in being a property manager in the future? What would you say is the number one way or the easiest step to actually get into this kind of part of real estate?
I would definitely say do your homework, research it, ask questions. I am always available if you have any questions. Property management is definitely a field that I love. Property management is definitely something that could take you from, a low income to a higher income. Property management is something that many people need to get into, but a lot of people are scared of it because they don't want to have to deal with work orders or tenants or stuff like that. And every real estate agent is not a property manager, but majority of the time, every property manager is a real estate agent or realtor.
Okay, and then I know with us working together, we've had a lot of success in helping either owners expand their portfolio or even condense their portfolio depending on what they're looking to do, along with helping tenants move around from different situations. Maybe you moved them from 3 different houses and then they ended up buying a house or anything like that. Do you have any stories that you could share about your success stories with dealing with owners or tenants?
Yeah, so one tenant in particular I met about 6 years ago or so at one particular property. They rented from me for a year at that property. They wanted to relocate towards the east end of town, so I found them another property in the east end of town. They were there for a year, and then I moved them to another property that we had within our department. So they were with me for 3 different properties. And now I am working with that same tenant to get pre-approved to buy a home. So a lot of times we do work with our tenants and getting them on the right track and getting them prepared to buy a home. So that is the ultimate goal. When you come in and talk to us or rent from us, we want to take you from renting to home ownership, if that's your goal, and we can make that happen for you too. There's a few resources out there that I would like to mention to any tenant that's looking for help or assistance. So if you are behind on your rent and you need help, the first thing that I would say is definitely communicate to your landlord, to your property manager. Reach out to them, let them know what's going on. Don't hide from them, don't avoid them. That's the wrong way to go. Communication is key. If you are faced with an eviction or past due on your rent, please reach out to your landlord, and you can also visit www.stopmyeviction.org. There is a whole lot of information on there and resources that will be able to help you stop the eviction or have a community assist you with paying your rent. There is also Louisville Urban League. Louisville Urban League has helped my tenants a lot. So if you are moving into a new property and you need help paying first month's rent or the security deposit, Louisville Urban League will also help you do that as well. Of course, you have to fill out their paperwork and show proof of your income and things like that and your hardship, but they're able to help you as well. Homeless Coalition. So I have several tenants that are receiving assistance from Homeless Coalition, which you can also look on their website as well. They have some resources for you. You can also reach out to Volunteers of America. Volunteers of America has also helped several of my tenants who were in a hardship and needed to get rent and security deposits paid.
Wow. Mom, you have a lot of knowledge. Like I know a good amount about property management, but yeah, you blow me out of the water. And I know this is a question that everybody probably wants to know the answer to,
Okay.
or people have asked you this question before.
Oh, man.
And you're probably like, geez, everybody asked me this question. So once they find out that you're my mother, and of course they're surprised because they think you're either my wife or my sister.
Yeah.
Because I look so much older, you look so much younger.
Well, thanks.
So what has it been like working with your son for the past 3 years?
Well, it's definitely been interesting. It's definitely been fun. I enjoy working with my son every single day. It's very exciting. It's a proud moment. I'm very proud of him. He's done amazing. We just have a good time, and we come to work and we collaborate together. He knows my expectations. I know his expectations, so it works out really well, and I enjoy it, and I'm so proud of him. There's many different aspects of property management. And like I mentioned, we have different portfolios of property management in our company. So we have, like I said, single family homes that we manage. We have 4-plexes, 8-plexes, 12-plex apartment buildings. We also have homeowner associations that we manage, which are like neighborhoods. And within that management, I am responsible for, or the property manager is responsible for, snow removal, lawn care, making sure their association insurance is paid, making sure the lights are on in the association, make sure the water is paid, contracts with landscaping, contracts for any type of repairs that are needed to be made. We also, like I mentioned, that we do have commercial management as well. So we can manage a shopping center, we can manage any commercial properties. That's the aspect of property management that we do have.
And what kind of software do you use to manage all that?
Yeah, so your property management software that you use is definitely key and definitely important to keeping you organized. As a property manager, you have to be organized, you have to have your systems in play, and you have to be able to communicate well and be able to build a relationship with your tenants. We use AppFolio software system, which is a property management software system. Some other property management companies use like Yardi or Property Boss or things of that nature. But we use AppFolio, which is one of the highest property management software systems out there.
So you brought some magazines here to show the audience. So show them a little bit of what you brought and kind of talk about why you use them and what they're for.
Yeah, so one of which I brought here is the Louisville Relocation Guide. And you can pick this up downtown at the Louisville tourist location. But this is the 2023 Louisville Relocation Guide. It gives you a lot of information about the city. It gives you great parks to go to, great neighborhoods. So it talks about Germantown neighborhood, Butchertown, West Louisville, Portland. It's a lot of good information in here about the city and some event places where you can go to, like Kentucky Kingdom, Louisville Mega Cavern. But I give this to all of my tenants that move in with me, and I also give it to my clients that are buyers and sellers.
Okay, and then what about the other one you got right there?
So the other one here is a realtor magazine that gets sent to us like once a quarter or so. It's sent to every realtor. And it just has information in here, new updates, new regulations. And it's important to stay up to date on knowledge and stay up to date on what's changing so you don't fall behind. And that's just one of the magazines I brought here. Keeps you up to date on everything. And it also educates you on how to help first-time home buyers and everything like that.
Okay. And a question that a lot of investors also have after looking through all that too is what are the best kind of rentals? Like if they're looking for a rental, what do you think is going to be the rentals that sell for or that rent for a premium in the open market?
Well, many people are definitely looking to maximize their space. So as many bedrooms as you can get that's within your budget, the better. So if you can afford a property that has 3 to 4 bedrooms, 2 bath, driveway, a garage. A garage is a big bonus. Fenced in yard is a big bonus. But as many bedroom and bathrooms that you can get, that's definitely going to help you. Because that's also going to help you too if you have an applicant that's applying with a housing choice voucher or Section 8 voucher. The more bedrooms you have, the higher you can get for rent.
Okay, and then let's say, hypothetically speaking, let's talk a little bit about maintaining those properties and the maintenance.
Yes.
If any of those properties had a water leak, and that's one of the most annoying things that you have to deal with is a water leak because it's hard to find them at times.
Mm-hmm.
What would you recommend to somebody if they discover that they have a water leak? What is their next steps?
Well, if someone believes they have a water leak, they first need to call a plumber out there so the plumber can come take a look and check the basics. If there's any leaking faucets, if there's any dripping faucets, if there's any leaking water spigots, running toilets, that's the number one reason your water bill is going to increase because of toilets that are running. And if the plumber comes out and determines that all of those are okay, then we may need to look a little bit deeper, and you may need to call a leak detection company, which we have one in our catalog. But you may have to call them out there, and they may have to take a deeper look. The water leak may be under the house or underground that you can't visibly see.
Yeah. Okay. And then a lot of times I've heard people say that they want to do a dye test on the toilets because that's an easy way that tenants or homeowners could, kind of go with the cheaper option of trying to do it themselves.
Yep.
To check for leaks as well.
Yep. And if you go to Louisville Water Company's website, there is a tab on there that talks about water leaks and how to test and do your at-home test. But also, too, if you do have a water leak and you do discover that it is a water leak and it has been fixed, you can submit a credit, an adjustment to Louisville Water Company. They'll review your bill and give you a portion of that money back credit to you if you found a leak and you fixed the leak. So check out the website for Louisville Water Company.
Yeah, and can you speak to, and then after hearing all that as well, we'll talk a little bit further just about maintaining rental property. So in this way, we're going to change gears and not necessarily talk about the maintenance of it, but maybe talk more about here in Louisville, they've started the rental registry where you have to start doing it, I believe, annually, and it's like $25 a year. Can you speak a little bit more about what that is and how that's changing?
Yes. So back in 2017, Louisville Metro passed an ordinance for rental registry where every property in Jefferson County had to be registered with the city. Well, as of December of 2022, they recently changed that ordinance and kind of upgraded it a little bit more now to where you have to register the property once a year now, and there is a fee for that. The price of the rental registry varies depending on how the property is zoned. So it could be $25 all the way up to, I think it was like $250
Yep, that's right.
for the rental registry. But it is a process every year. The owners have to fill out an affidavit to state that the property is being maintained and in good condition. But there's a lot of changes that's coming down with Jefferson County and Louisville Metro. Louisville is a hot market for rental property, and the city is recognizing that.
Absolutely. And one of the things I hear about all the time, and that I also tell investors is Louisville's like a turtle market, as in it doesn't, not that it moves slow, it just doesn't move as fast as an Arizona or a Florida market. So you're not going to have a year where something's up 20%, something like that. Mm-hmm. It's pretty steady, as well as it doesn't drop whenever real estate prices drop around the country. It's not like it's going to drop 10% in 1 year.
Yeah.
It's a lot slower, so it's a lot more of a steady market. So your money's a lot safer here than it would be in a New York, in a California, in a Florida, all those markets that have those high appreciation rates.
Mm-hmm. I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah,
hope
of course
so.
we can't tell the future, but we're just going off of the past, 100 years, whatever.
And there's a lot of great things that's also happening in West Louisville, which I'm very excited about. West Louisville is getting the new Norton's Hospital. West Louisville is getting the new waterfront park that they're expanding from 9th Street down to 14th Street. So there's many great things that are coming in West Louisville, and I'm so excited that West Louisville is now getting the attention that it has been needing for years.
Well, Mom, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. We'll start wrapping it up from here. So I'll leave you with these last two questions. One is, if you could go back to yourself 10 years ago, before you kind of got into real estate, or if my math's correct, or you were 2 years into real estate, so you would have been making a decision around this time if you want to get your real estate license, what would be the biggest advice that you would have given yourself?
The biggest advice would probably be to shadow as many people as you can. There's many agents that's been in the business for a long time, many seasoned agents that have been in the building business for a long time. Is get in with them and shadow them and try to learn as much as you can from them. And if real estate is something that you're wanting to do, or even property management, just get into it as soon as you can. I bought my first house at 22 years old. I had no idea what I was doing. I had a 3-year-old at the time, him. I had no idea what I was doing, but I was 22 years old, bought my first house, and I'm still in that house right now, too. So it's my first house, and I would just say jump into it. Don't be scared. Don't be intimidated. It's something that everybody can do. And if you have any questions about how to become a real estate agent or how to become a property manager, or you need help with rent and you need some resources, call me. I'll be more than happy to talk to you.
Yeah, and what's the best way for them to get in touch with you for any of those questions?
Yes, so the best way to get in touch with me, you can always send me a message on Facebook, send me a friend request on Facebook, Mika Anthony Heinze. And you can also give me a call or give me a text. My phone number has been the same for over 20 years. My number is 502 641 0618. 502 641 0618.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. Mom, thank you again for coming on the podcast and dropping some gems just about what property management's like and all the things that you just need to know that goes into it. This is years and years worth of experience, so I appreciate you coming on the podcast and sharing that with us.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited for you.
Thank you.